Wow, my computer's moving really slow tonight.
We love it.
Well, well. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, since we just started, nobody's live online yet, but that's okay. No big deal. We're still in studio. We're still going to get this out and going to everybody to see. And we're still going to publish it tomorrow or today. Well, I'll edit tonight and publish it tomorrow. So, anyway, I'm Aaron
I'm Ethan.
and
And, I,
our
and I'm
special
Jacob.
guest. Welcome, Jacob. It's good to see you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you fellas doing?
Outside a little cold. We're doing just fine.
There you go.
I'm good now that football's over. We got hockey going, the Four Nations coming up. That starts tomorrow, and then baseball's back. So,
Whoop. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, absolutely. And every single team has had all their pitchers and catchers report as of today.
You
Some
know who
yesterday, some
actually,
today.
sorry, this is off topic. It's not really off topic, but you know who looks really good in orange? Surprisingly, Justin Verlander.
Really?
That
Who'd have
orange
thought?
and that orange and black looks good on him.
Well, that's an interesting assessment.
I
It
didn't
almost
like
looks
the Astros. I didn't like the Astros just because the Astros. I didn't like that orange. I like this orange though.
I mean, it
fair.
just kind of fits with the old Detroit Tigers orange they used to wear way back when,
Absolutely.
huh?
Absolutely.
That is true. Very true. So, for those of you that don't know who Jacob is, Jacob, we met back during the Say It Again network, and that was a hot minute ago.
It was.
And we never were able to connect to catch up on either one of our podcasts. But, sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes funky things with technology happen. And, well, here we are. We finally made it happen. So, Jacob, it's great to have you here, man. Why don't you go and explain to everybody what you do?
Yeah. Listen, I'm primarily a Kansas City Royals guy. I'm out here in Virginia, but I grew up there in small town Kansas. Um, just like Aaron said, I'm here plugging away on doing the podcast with the Royals Rundown podcast, writing for Kings of Kaufman, pitcher list. And yeah, we're just plugging away, and I'm just so damn excited that baseball's here, guys. I'm really happy.
Well, I think that makes three of us that are excited about baseball. Well, and so for me, after last year's excitement of the young, fresh players making a run for some really big awards, how can you go wrong not being excited? I mean, how can you be wrong not being excited about this season?
Listen, so I'm already taking Ethan's route, and I'm gonna go sort of off topic, but not really off topic. It's I don't know how y'all feel about the three athletes on the MLB The Show cover this year, but I
So
feel
sick, dude.
you like it.
So sick.
It's but like that's where baseball is right now. It's there are a lot of young studs that these franchises can hitch their wagons to and see how far they can carry them. I know the Royals were a prime example of that with Bobby
Absolutely.
Jr. last year.
Oh, Bobby Witt was unbelievable.
We love him here, man. We really do.
Dude, if
But
I could have pulled his rookie patch card, I would have freaked. If I could have pulled any one of those rookie patch cards, I would have freaked out.
you've been making money. Let's say that, huh?
I'd have been living really well. Let's
Yes.
just say that.
But no, it's just good to see, seeing all the really zoomed in photos from the beat reporters and trying to evaluate what players are doing or aren't doing, things like that. Anthony Rendon's already going to be out long term with an injury. Like baseball is really
What?
He's having hip surgery
I know, right?
or something surgery wise, like with his
Already.
lower area of the body.
Let's see. Here.
Wouldn't you just think he should retire? He hasn't played a single innings in like 3 years, it feels like.
It feels like, yeah, but yeah, that hip surgery. I think he should just hang it up. But he's still getting paid by the Angels. That's all he cares about, right?
Well, if he hangs it up, he's still getting paid by the Angels.
Exactly. Just go sit at home and watch the Angels do what the Angels do and just be the little brother of the Dodgers. And
Exactly.
just why put yourself through all that and give everybody just a smidgen of hope and then take it all away?
Yep, that's the Los Angeles Angels for you, folks. That's really
Sounds
how
like
it goes.
Well, and the thing that I really like, and it's not just a specific few teams loaded with up and coming stars. It's darn near every single team.
T
From
minus the Rockies.
No, even the Rockies. Because I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Tovar is a freaking stud,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
he can really
Oh,
get
Brenton
that
Doyle.
started.
Brenton Doyle is good too.
And Brenton
Doyle
Doyle,
season, he's
exactly,
good. He's rock
exactly.
solid.
So even the Rockies have them. They just don't know how to use them. They don't know how to put a team around them. But that's another story.
Yep.
You know, so really, it's just excitement all the way around for me. You know, Florida has a couple young stars. I hate to say it, Houston still has a couple good, great, and upcoming stars. You got Kansas City. I'm almost willing to put Bobby Witt money down on MVP this year.
Hey, I'll take
so,
it.
So, or Julio out in Seattle. So, I think the only team that doesn't really have any up and coming studs, as I look at it, maybe San Francisco. I can't think of anybody in San Francisco, and I can't think of anybody with the Dodgers.
Hiroki Sasaki.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
There you go.
You're right. Thank
Sorry,
you.
that was just really quick.
No, you're right. But again, you got to see him, and I mean, yeah, he's had a couple years in Japan, 3-4 years in Japan. So I like it. Good move on their part. Hate it.
Shohei is throwing the ball really hard again.
Really?
No kidding.
Oh,
Yes.
Man. That's scary.
Yeah, I saw some video from yesterday of him on the mound, and oh boy,
Unfair.
right?
I feel sorry for the Rockies right now out there in the West. I really, really do.
I don't. They're retarded. If you actually had a GM with a brain,
it's not the GM, Ethan.
It's
I will
everything.
put that on the GM.
It's all of it. It's the entire Rockies organization. I could go there and probably make it to the postseason in 5 or less years, guaranteed.
It's ownership. It's 100% ownership. They refuse to spend any money. They refuse to invest in anything. And the difference in team ownership and management is glaringly obvious when you pit the Rockies against the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Astros. Any of these teams that are the Mets, any of these teams willing to spend the money, you see. You saw it last year. Who were the 4 final teams in the playoffs? 3 of them had the top amount of salary roster at the end of the season. You know, and Cleveland was at the bottom. So make that make sense. I can't.
It's just how Cleveland goes, man.
But you look at it in Seattle, management refuses to spend money. Milwaukee, they're not spending money, but they know how to make it work. Tampa refuses to spend money, but up until last year, they were making it work.
Well, Milwaukee also has Jackson Churio, and he's disgusting at baseball.
Yes.
So, another one of those young studs we didn't bring up.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, you see where teams willing to spend the money are making it work, and you see where the teams, Dodgers winning, Rockies losing, not willing to spend the money, they ain't making it work. You know, Florida, somehow they made it work for 2 years, but they don't spend money. They don't win. Just simple math, unfortunately.
Yep. Just how baseball is. It's an unfair game. Gotta win in the margins when you can, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a game of inches, and if you don't take advantage of those inches, doesn't matter how much money you spend. Yep. Unfortunately, if you're spending on the guys that can make those inches manageable and workable and win those inches, there you go. Yep. You're winning.
Exactly. So here's kind of where where I'm at with and I don't want to get into the whole salary cap, salary floor stuff like that because listen,
Right.
we're gonna have plenty of time to talk about it after the 2026 season because the CBA is gonna be up. I would expect that we get another little lockout and we'll see what happens then. But I mean, man, it's just got to be tough for seeing the value of these franchises, the value of these ownership groups, and them not go out and spend a little bit more year over year in payroll. Like at least just keep up with inflation or something. That's all I want you. That's all I want you to do. But no, it's the Royals have been really lucky on that front. You know, the big spending spree of last year really paid dividends, and
Oh, yeah.
I thought that they would serve as more of a case study for other small market teams. I was like, hey, if you go out and invest, you will see immediate returns. And no, it's been completely the opposite.
You have not paid attention to Seattle at all.
No.
And it hurts my soul to say that. But given that, I do expect the team to be better this year because they were overcoming their hitting woes late August through September. And you have probably two of the purest hitters to grace the baseball field in modern era as your organizational hitting instructor in Edgar Martinez and your new hitting coach in Kevin Seitzer. So you can't go wrong. And so I expect the team to be significantly better, at least at the plate. Does it translate to wins? Dear God, I hope so. Because
well, I mean, if you have a pitching staff like that, you should win games.
That's my point.
You can't win games without pitching.
No. And that is 100% my point. You know, there's been talk. I wouldn't be surprised if they wind up moving Luis Castillo just out of budget friendliness for other teams, and you can get a couple young studs or a stud back. Oh, good question, but it wouldn't surprise me if they can find a way. Hey,
who would you want in return?
Nobody from
for
Boston.
Luis Castillo.
Boston fans seem to think that they have, diamonds everywhere across the diamond.
That's what they think, but alas,
they don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you also got to look. Boston did get rid of Mookie Betts and everything good that they had. So, I mean, what do they have now? Rafael Devers, and he's getting older and slowing down.
I don't think I ever really realized his age. Like I always thought he was younger than he was. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. No,
absolutely.
He looks on the younger side, but he's getting up there in age.
That he is, and man, they're paying him a while. They're paying him until 2031.
Yeah,
31 million.
Yeah,
man.
Well,
that's tough.
Oh, that's rough. But it still won't be as much as Ohtani or the Cat Junior down in San Diego.
Fernando Tatis?
Tatis, yeah. They're still not paying him as much as that.
That's true.
As long as that. So, oh well. So we're going to switch gears here a little bit since we got a little bit of just random baseball stuff off of our minds. Let's touch on stuff that you're happy or angry about. So there's no format. There's no formal thing. If you want to throw something out, do. I'll throw a couple things out just to see how that goes over. If you have any emotion about it, great. Have emotion about it. I don't care. So for me, the first one that I actually am happy about is Polar Bear going back to the Mets. Talk to me.
I thought they were going to let him go, to be honest. I don't know why I thought that, but I just thought his time was running out, especially towards the end of the year before the playoffs when he kind of died out and was like low key, not doing anything. But then against Milwaukee, he hits the 3-run shot to win it. He did so many clutch things in the postseason that you want on your team. So I like it, especially with picking up Juan Soto. That keeps the power in your lineup, but also adds power with Juan Soto.
Yes.
Juan Soto's defense, I don't even want to talk about that. That's kind of trash. But him at the plate is okay. It's a good pickup. Defensive wise, they could have done a little bit better, but who else is better at hitting than Juan Soto? I mean, Aaron Judge, you're not going to get him from the Yankees. Bobby Witt, you're not getting Bobby Witt from Kansas City. You're not getting Ohtani from LA. You're not, you're just.
You go with your options. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacob, your thoughts?
I'm happy at the result. I'm angry at the process. Is what I'm gonna say. I mean, Pete Alonso felt like one of those guys that I thought he was gonna be like a New York Mets lifer. I thought he was gonna be like the next corner infielder that the New York Mets could hang their hat on as a franchise star.
Absolutely.
And with Alonso's representation, I just hate that it came down to this uber player friendly deal that we're probably not going to see him remain a Met for the remainder of his career, and he'll go elsewhere, not be as remembered fondly. But like that's just me being a fan. Baseball's a business, and all in all, I feel like he really just makes a formidable New York Mets lineup for the coming season.
Okay. Hey, you got anything you want to throw out there?
No.
Or will you just respond?
No, I could see a crazy thing happening. You might call me crazy for this, but I could see Pete Alonso getting traded for some other big name, kind of like what just happened in Dallas with Luka.
Okay. Oh.
Hey, that wouldn't be bad.
That's interesting.
I could see it happening. I'm not going to put money on it. I'm not saying any of that because I want Pete Alonso to be a Met for life, like Jacob said. That would be so sick. Because you don't see a lot of people staying a Met for life or a Rocky for life like Todd Helton or David Ortiz, mostly with the Red Sox. You don't see that very often because people want to be on a championship team and they want to win championships and win and get their money, and they just want to get paid.
Yeah, I see it.
I could see a big trade happening with Pete Alonso, kind of like it did in Dallas with Luka. I just don't know who you trade for.
I mean,
Luis Castillo.
No, I would go first base for first base or something like that.
Okay, so
who else are you going to put at first base?
Let me throw
JD Martinez. He can't. He can't pick up He can only swing a bat.
Yeah, that's about it. So if you, Ethan, in your vein of thinking, let's say you want to go first base for first base, top tier players at their position, right? I mean, my angry reaction was going to be the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays didn't cross the finish line with an extension for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Correct.
Hey, listen, this man in New York is tossing out money like it's made in the Monopoly factory. All right, if he's willing to pay Vladimir Guerrero, I mean that would be another big boost in New York. You send them Pete Alonso. He can opt out if he wants to. No long-term commitment.
See, I would be okay with that because Vladdy's just as sick.
Yeah.
Is he on the bigger side like Pete? Absolutely. Is he going to be fast? No. Is he going to do his job? Absolutely. He's going to protect first base and, pick up the shortstop on a bad throw. He's going to hit 20, 30 home runs a season.
Mm-hmm.
With 90 to 100 RBIs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can even do the same with Rhys Hoskins, too. I know he's getting a little older, but I think Rhys Hoskins is a good option at first base.
Okay. Aaron, what say you, man?
Interesting. First base? That's brutal. There's too many holds at first base for teams.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to go pick up a guy like Daniel Vogelback.
No, and he was
burgers.
He was already
burger.
He was already used and tried there in New York. So, I'm kind of with Jacob. The fact that you have Vlad Guerrero sitting there that you can't finish, you can't sign him. I think he's done in Toronto. I think he's frustrated that he did not get an extension or that he wasn't traded. So I could very easily see them moving him about June before the trade deadline. But I mean, as in terms of another first baseman, I just can't think of anybody. I can't. Your Justin Turner's tried and done, so you're not going to go sign him or trade for him like the Mariners did.
Right.
Do you have somebody in your minor league system for the Mets that you're not worried about plugging in at first base? You're not going to get Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers.
No.
You're just not going to, unless you're looking to get younger. And if you're looking to get younger, I could see where that might make sense. Might.
After what Freddie just did for the Dodgers in the World Series, no shot are they getting rid of him.
I didn't say they would. I did not say they would. But if you're looking for that shock value, like you said, Ethan.
I totally
that would
agree.
Be shock value.
Yeah, that's true.
100%. It would be like Dallas leaving Luka or Luka leaving Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I woke up and I thought it was a joke. I have to part ways. I still got it on my brain, dude. I was so in shock. I opened Facebook, I read it, and then I was like, there's no way this is true. I closed Facebook because I thought it was fake. I thought it did something distorted, or I thought I was looking at the wrong thing. And then I opened it again and it was just all Luka to the Lakers. And I was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah. Oh, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Sorry, I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
No, you're good. We're going to keep it kind of Jacob, at least for me. I'm a little angry with the Blue Jays as it is, because I honestly thought they were going to blow everything up after the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
Yep.
Talk to me about that, because I know you were already on the angry, both of us were on the angry Guerrero Jr. bandwagon, but what else there? Because so
he's versatile too.
He is. So where my anger lies with it is we've seen recently a couple of teams investing in their homegrown talent has paid dividends, right? Rather than go out and get these lower A tier free agents that are kind of hit or miss sometimes, right? Like I think of Trevor Story in Boston, right?
Yep.
Trevor Story, great with the Rockies. He deserved that contract that he got, but it just hasn't worked out in Boston after he got that deal. So the thing is, I get it. They invested in payroll. They got Santander. They got Jeff Hoffman. They got Max Scherzer. I think they're a better team, but you still go to the end of the season and, okay, what are you going to do with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? What are you going to do with Bo Bichette? What are you going to do with the guys that you have invested not just money in, but years of time and patience and money in? So I don't know. I'm not a fan of how they approach this offseason. Maybe after 162 games, I'm eating crow on it. But I don't know. I just don't feel good about their prospects, especially in a brutal AL East.
Brutal is an understatement. And that division is always brutal. Always. Yeah. And it's just a rotation of teams as well. Mm-hmm. I don't think they really solidified their pitching at all. You can pick up Bassett again. You can say Berrios is good, but how good? And if you're picking up Scherzer, Is he going to be able to pitch?
How much does he have left in the tank?
Exactly. Yeah, you just
the dude's arm is about to fall off if he throws 800 more pitches almost. I feel.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bet against it actually happening in a game. It just falls off like a lizard shedding its tail or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember watching Nolan Ryan throw his last pitch in a game because his arm was gone. That's the UCL. I'm not going to say that's going to happen to Scherzer, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
Scherzer doesn't throw nearly as hard as Ryan did. Ryan was throwing 110 miles an hour almost.
Yeah, exactly. So you look, and Alek Manoah, is he going to last all year? Is he going to do anything?
I don't know. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Well, he's in Toronto. He's fighting for his spot with Scherzer. You got Kevin Gausman. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Solid,
but he didn't do well in Seattle. That's why Seattle cut him, basically.
Exactly.
And traded him to Toronto. You got Berrios. You got Chris Bassett. I don't know who Bowden Francis is, but he's there. Scherzer and Uriel Rodriguez. I just don't see a stud pitching staff. And anymore nowadays, especially in the AL East, if you don't have a pitching staff, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you have to face guys like Gunnar Henderson, Jackson Holiday. Yeah, the list keeps going.
It does.
Aaron Judge, Stanton.
I definitely think that that's a division though that you have to welcome not playing within the division more like you used to in years past. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
I know the AL Central right now, we would love to have more games against the Chicago White Sox. Just start stacking up those wins real easy like. But it is I know that teams like the Toronto Blue Jays, they're happy to go play against the White Sox rather than have 3 more against the Red Sox or the Orioles.
Absolutely.
Because Ethan listed off 2 guys that are just with two guys that are just with the Orioles. I mean, you can go about 4 deep on any one of those squads and be scared of them. It's insane.
Yes. Yeah. Jacob, you got anything happy, angry?
Oh, let's see here. Well, the Vladimir Guerrero one was a really big one stuck in my craw. I will say I am happy with the Detroit Tigers. Yeah, and you know what? I'm not happy like, oh well, it comes kind of at the expense of my favorite team, the Royals, but I am happy with the Detroit Tigers process so far because they're matching this wave of prospect power reaching the show with some supporting cast additions. Torres coming to second base. Well, that's going to allow Colt Keith to go over to first base and really maximize him. Alex Cobb, I get he's not everyone's cup of tea, but he's an okay starting pitcher who's going to help shore up that rotation a little bit. I'm not saying they're going to be sexy or World Series contenders or nothing like that, but they're still willing to invest more. Obviously, they're still in on Alex Bregman, and we'll see how that ends up.
Gleyber Torres too.
Right.
So
exactly.
Okay, I see it.
So it's not Skubal or Green carrying the entire load. It's they're going out and getting these experienced veteran guys with postseason experience too. I'm happy about that. What do you think, Ethan? Am I off base?
No, I like it. Everything with Tigers is okay besides the Javi hitting part of it. His defense is fine. He's good at shortstop. He just can't hit a baseball.
I don't know what happened, man. I really don't.
It looks like he's swinging a hockey stick. Like he's trying to hit a baseball with a hockey stick.
Maybe he should go play for the Red Wings then. Maybe they can split his pay or something like that.
Either that or he's using an oar or a golf.
I'd hate to say it.
Because have you seen some of the pitches he swung at?
bad.
I wouldn't even swing at those, and I can't hit a baseball to save my life. I would watch it go in the dirt and not swing. So what? There's 2 strikes on me. Let the ball bounce.
Yep.
You don't
Not
have
him.
to swing at everything, Javi.
Right.
As much as I hate to say this, if Javi goes and tries to play hockey for the Red Wings would be worse. I hate to say that because they're on such a huge high right now with that coaching change. You can't destroy a team with Javi. You can't. You just can't.
He just needs to fix his hitting, and then everything will be okay. Because you got 2 of, I think, the best pitchers in the AL with Tariq Skubal and who was the other guy you said? I don't remember his name.
Cobb.
Cobb, yeah. He's fine. He's a veteran guy that knows how to get people out.
And hey, you know what?
Tariq Skubal just threw a 97-mile-an-hour slider. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I've never seen a 97-mile-an-hour slider in my life.
And this is, you know what? I completely space on the fact that they added Jack Flaherty just recently.
Oh, that's true. From St. Louis,
and they still have Casey Mize.
Yep, that they do. And Jackson Jobe, this is what I'm talking about, because Jobe is like one of the top pitching prospects in baseball, and he should be in the rotation this year, but not everything is on him because they added those veterans.
Okay, question for you,
if you
Jacob.
go look at their depth chart, Jobe is on the depth chart.
Yep, that he is.
So,
how do you feel about Jack Caglione? Do you think that he's going to get I seen some film of him playing over the winter, and he is destroying the baseball and getting guys out.
Yeah.
Do you see him making an appearance maybe this year or next year?
I could see him. So here's where I sit with it, right? Royals, they've been really transparent. He's not pitching right now. Okay. He's just being a hitter, focusing on that. It's the first time in a while he's gonna be able to do that. If there's an injury, if there's some more underperformance in the outfield and he makes that transition to the outfield, then I could definitely see him in Kansas City as a September call-up. I think next year he's going to be pushing for the opening day roster no matter what, no matter who is on the roster, just with his performance. He does have some stuff to address first. There's some swing and miss concerns, some plate discipline, if you will, as well. But the Royals talked about, hey, we're going to give him some run in the outfield this spring, see how we adjust to it, because we saw what he was doing from the mound in Florida. You know he's got a cannon for an arm. So imagine that out in right field with the lefty mashing stick. I would take it. September is a really optimistic look at it, but I'm here for it.
No, it just hit my brain, and I was like, Jack Caglione, he's good. He's really good. I wonder if he could maybe make a push for it, but
we'll see.
I think it'd be cool to see him, you know.
Hey, maybe Aaron will be seeing him in Omaha during that road trip, huh?
I would not mind at all.
That would be cool.
At all.
Yeah. So I mean, he hits the ball 500 feet every time almost.
It's insane. It really is.
But no, you said, with the swing and miss concerns, that's probably my biggest thing, just because he gets that super long when you kind of got to be short and quick to it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And he's a big guy.
He is massive.
He is just huge. I really underestimated how tall he was, just how, he's stacked. I know I know he's an athlete, you're supposed to be, but even amongst athletes, he looks just so much bigger. So I know that some of those levers, they can get a little out of whack sometimes. But I'm hopeful that he takes another step forward this spring. He is in big league camp, so we'll see him there a little bit. And we'll see how he hangs with the big boys, huh?
That's kind of just what I was curious about.
Well, and
you being a Royals guy, so
yeah. Well, and you get a big league hitting coach working with them, not discounting your minor league system coaches, because they work their tails off too.
Mm-hmm.
But you get him in a big league camp, you get him under the wing of somebody like a Bobby Witt Jr., who he learned really quickly. Let's shorten things up here. Let's shorten things up there. Here's where I can go along with my stride. So you get a veteran kind of mentoring him along with that hitting coach. I wouldn't be surprised, but you do see him in September.
Yeah.
Unless there's injuries, and then maybe July.
Right. Exactly. So that's definitely something the Royals fans are looking forward to. Royals fans are really divided on him. Some folks are looking too much into the strikeout stuff. Some folks are ignoring that, obviously, like Ethan said, for the 500-foot home runs. Putting it over scoreboards in college and stuff like that.
I mean, look at Barry Bonds. He struck out, not very often, but he struck out.
He did. He did. So it's all.
Granted, he hit 756 home runs, but
who's counting? Huh? Not Major League Baseball, apparently.
Nah.
So here's one that I'm gonna bring up, and you're gonna it's kind of a love-hate thing here for me. The Athletics. I love that they decided to spend some money. I hate that it took them this long to spend the money, because the fans in Oakland have gotten robbed, screwed over, bent over, sideways, backwards, whatever you want to say. And you move a few miles up the road to Sacramento before you can get to Vegas. I hate that. I loathe it. However, they're spending money, and they had a pretty good year last year. So where are they going this year? What are they doing this year? And I think they're going to be better. I love what they did this offseason, picking people up. I'm looking for the one that I just can't remember right now.
Luis Severino?
There you go, Severino. I don't know that it's going to help them, but it was a great pickup.
So I'm trying to think, because remember, we can't call them Oakland anymore. They are just the Athletics. That's it.
Right? Yep.
Yeah, I'm with you, Aaron, primarily on the fact that we've seen this fan support from Oakland for, the better part of a decade now. It was it's easy to forget, like it was the Athletics coming out of the West race into the postseason several times in the 2010s, and
Correct.
they had a shift in mindset, and they just started selling off players as soon as they could. Like as soon as there was value, they were gone. We'll see what happens.
And I actually, so I'm out in California every August, and 2 years ago went to San Francisco. This past year, went to Oakland. The Coliseum may have been a dump, but boy, did it have character. And it was a fun little ballpark for as dumpy as it was. And of all things, I saw game number 20 in the streak of losses for the White Sox. So, I had history that I was watching as well. The other pickup that they had was Gio Urshela.
Oh, that's what
Urshela.
However you say it.
Wow.
Yep. So, they've done a few things, and I like what they have. I really hope Brent Rooker turns it on. He's good. I like him. Lawrence Butler, I got to see him. He came in to pinch hit. Third pitch in the series, turned on it, put it over the fence. So they have, again, some young players. Mason Miller, shoot.
That's who I was thinking of. Mason Miller's got
gas.
Throws gas.
Yeah. So I love the fact that they're, building around some of their younger teammates and players. But dude, don't screw the fans like you did. I lost a team in the Seattle Supersonics. It sucked. I still call the Thunder the Sonics just to piss off my family, because I've got family in Oklahoma City. but I still do. There's nobody left over from the Sonics there in Oklahoma City, but I do it just to piss them off.
There you go.
You know, and I can see people doing this when they get to Oakland or to Las Vegas as well. Just me.
I could as well.
Are they going to keep the colors the same, or are they changing?
Yes. No, same colors. At least in Sacramento.
But like when they get to Vegas, how is that going to work when it's black and gold is their?
Do you really? I don't.
Yellow. That doesn't.
You're like, I can't compute. I can't compute. So the advantage.
Make them the Golden A's. Who cares? The Golden A's, Golden Athletics, something.
Hey, that's not bad.
Keep keep Golden in the name. You got the Golden Knights. You got the Golden
Raiders.
Something. Those.
The Raiders. Yeah. They're not golden.
No, I wasn't talking about that. No, there's another.
So how about that?
Gold.
You're going to have two teams from Oakland in Vegas.
That's a big FU to that to Oakland. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'd be hurting. I'd be really hurting.
Yep. So before we go, Ethan, Jacob, you got any other happy, angry things to spit out there real quick?
We don't have to carry on. This is just another point to what you were saying, Aaron, about the Athletics. I mean, you go and look at the projected numbers for the Athletics position players. I mean, I was surprised to see that they have 4 3-FWAR players projected for 2025, and just in the position players. Now that rotation ain't looking too well. That rotation's looking ugly. They don't have anybody above 2, but it's I don't know. They could be a fun team to watch. At least hit. I don't know about pitching, but hit they could do that.
They can't be worse than the White Sox.
If you can score more than you give up, you're totally fine.
That's truth.
And ask Ethan, but when I took a picture, because I wound up sitting legitimately right behind the dugout there in Oakland, right behind the A's dugout. And I took a picture of their starting pitcher. Did it look like JP Sears had just came from prom?
A little bit.
He is.
You'll have to send me this picture later.
Oh, he is an absolute kid. I'm like, seriously, how? I don't understand. I mean, he's not a kid, but boy, did he look like a kid right out of prom. So, oh well. Here's a fun one for you. I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to go with a little trivia. This one I picked up from the well-respected Sarah Lings. She is a trivia buff and a numbers buff. So Clayton Kershaw just signed with the Dodgers again. Mm-hmm. You have Blake Snell down there. Mm-hmm. So these two are the 10th duo of multi-time Cy Young winners on the same team, meaning at least 2 or more Cy Young awards.
Oh, man.
Can you name one of the other 9 combos?
Ethan, you got a stab at this? I'm drawing a blank.
Repeat it.
Okay. Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell.
Blake Snell
are the 10th combination of multi-time Cy Young Award winners to be on the same team at any given time.
I have no answer
There's
for you.
There's 9 other combos.
9?
9 other combos.
Are they recent or like older?
Very recent on a couple of them.
Really?
What?
Yes. We've already discussed 2 of them.
Well, so what? Like the Texas Rangers staff that never got off the, or no, sorry, New York Mets staff never got off the ground with like Verlander and Scherzer. They won.
There you go. There's one of them from 2023.
That's what I was thinking.
And you mentioned the Rangers. There you go. Scherzer and DeGrom.
Oh, that's who I was drawing a blank on.
But
it's because he's always hurt. That's why you draw a blank.
Yeah.
But
Because he
then
pitches 5
also,
innings and then, oh, I'm done.
yeah, but then also you can go back to 2022 Mets with Scherzer and DeGrom.
Oh man. This is just like the how many steps away from a person. You just have to follow Max Scherzer, apparently.
Well, you say that, and how about the 2021 Dodgers with Max Scherzer and Clayton Kershaw?
Oh, jeez.
Is all 9 of them Max Scherzer and somebody else?
No, it's not.
Because I feel like that's where you were going with it for like 5 seconds.
It's not. Because up until 2021, the only other, the most recent one was 2008. Boy, did I forget Johan Santana.
Oh man.
So
Yeah,
that was the
that's
Mets
good.
2008 with Pedro Martinez and Johan Santana.
Mm,
And then notice a recurring team though is the Mets.
the Mets.
So 2005 through 2007 Mets had Pedro Martinez and Tom Glavine.
Good Lord.
Okay.
Are the Braves one
How
of them?
about Tom?
Then yes, Ethan, the Braves 1999 to 2002. You had Tom Glavine
Tom
and
Glavine.
and
Yep.
Greg Maddux.
Yep.
There you go.
In 2001,
I got 1 out of 9.
and then in 2001,
9%.
you have the Red Sox with Pedro Martinez and the Kansas City pitcher Brett Saberhagen.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Man.
I forgot Saberhagen went to the Red Sox.
That's a somewhat forgettable time of his career, I will say.
Oh, it was the end of his career.
Yeah.
Then the first combo was the 1986 Chicago White Sox with Steve Carlton and Tom Seaver.
I would have never guessed that one.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
On me.
Would never guess that one. The more recent ones with Scherzer, absolutely, that was easy to see.
Man.
But there you go.
That was a good find from Sarah there.
Yeah, thank you for the information, Sarah Langs. If you ever get bored and want some history, go find her on X at Slang on Sports.
I also have a baseball trivia book that I got for Christmas, and there's a lot of stuff in there that I haven't read. I can go get it real quick if you want, since we're on trivia.
No, you're good. You're good. We can do that next go around. You can provide one next go around.
There you go.
All right.
Yep. So historically, Jacob, we have had the Angel Hernandez Don't Be Stupid Award.
Okay.
Well, one of our guests that we had a couple months ago, who is also an American Legion umpire, who I met out in California at the American Legion tournament out there. He is actually really, really good friends with Angel Hernandez. And he gave me hard proof that Angel Hernandez was actually one of the top-ranked umpires in the majors.
And I found that really hard to believe, but then I believed it.
Okay.
Yep. So I have renamed it based on a little research that I did. And one of the articles that I wrote, there is a specific umpire that actually really, really hates the Seattle Mariners. He also is notorious for throwing pitchers out for having sticky stuff on their hands because he's just a jackwagon. So I'm renaming it to the Laz Diaz Don't Be
Hey! I like that one.
There we go.
Woo!
So,
Laz Diaz, baby. Garbage.
So he actually had the worst rate of calls against the Seattle Mariners. His rate percentage, because I follow the umpire scorecard on X, which provides some really entertaining numbers. The worst rated umpire was Laz Diaz, and his 3 worst games were when he was behind the plate with the Seattle Mariners. And not once did he get over 80% in those games.
That is tough.
That is really bad.
So I told you, I did some research because I wanted to find the worst one. And he was the only one on there 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Don't Be Stupid Award winner today for the Laz Diaz Don't Be Stupid Award is Pat Hoberg, the umpire.
Yeah, what an idiot. You call a perfect World Series game? A perfect, you don't miss a single call. and throw it all away down the drain. The best umpiring performance that anybody has ever seen. You say, oh, look, you see this? Yeah, I don't want it.
How do you feel, Jacob?
I listen, I feel really strongly about this because
let's hear it. Freak out, buddy. Freak out, baby.
You know, and
explode.
I say it all with a smile on my face, but I remember hearing about him getting disciplined back it was last summer. I think it was June or July. I'm blanking on when it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard of the man because like those are the best umpires when you don't care who's behind the plate.
Exactly.
So, frankly, those are the guys doing their job.
Yes.
And I looked him up, Ethan, and that's when I found out about the perfect World Series game. I was like, oh wow, that's a great accolade that no one else is going to be able to share with you. But I heard about him getting suspended. I was like, oh man, this is a reality that we got to deal with now with sports betting being so much more accessible. And thankfully with replay, an umpire's immediate impact on the game is a little bit dampened. But how many times have we seen a terrible check swing call end an inning or end a rally? Or we've seen some pretty bad balls and strikes called, and you can get away with one or two of those if you're a good umpire like Pat was apparently. I don't want to say is because that man is never going to have a job behind the plate ever again.
Not with the pros.
It is such an embarrassment. I think there should be more egg on the umpire union's face than there is. I don't know. I'm really frustrated about it. This is an integrity of the game thing, and it is upsetting that it feels like this wasn't reported on amply. Like we got everything from Shohei, and we got all the conspiracy theories about what Shohei was or wasn't doing. Yep. And this guy who has an immediate impact on the game had solid links to sports betting, and it just kind of slid under the off-season radar. So he would be a good candidate to name this award after. That's what I'll say. Because he was stupid.
That's fair. We may rename it. I'm up for votes.
3 name changes. I like it.
But hey, you gotta settle on some. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Third time is a charm.
For anybody listening, when this comes out on the podcast, if you want that name change to Pat Homer, give it to us. We'll gladly take it. I am not opposed. And that's the thing. It wasn't just a simple fact that there was a hint of some gambling. It was, for me, it was the first simple 2 things. He obstructed the investigation. Mm-hmm. So if there's no guilt, why obstruct? For one, that was the bigger portion of why he got fired, is because he was obstructing. But 2, why are you sharing your app information? Why are you sharing your information on BetMGM or DraftKings or whatever with your friend? That's illegal in itself. I can't share my information with Aaron or with Ethan. I can't share my information with my daughter. Why is he sharing information with his poker buddy? Come on, man. Those are my 2 things here.
What about you, Ethan?
Well, I don't want to freak out, so we're just gonna leave it where it is. You guys have said enough. I don't need to say anything because if I do, I might get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Aaron, change the ticker. Hurry.
My ticking time bomb is about to go off.
I got to change everything real quick because my battery just said, hey, you're almost dead. Fantasy baseball, yes, no. We have a couple people that listen that would love to join us in a fantasy baseball, so I'm saying yes. I'm going to set something up on Yahoo Sports Ethan, that means you're obligated to participate, whether you pay much attention to it or not.
I will try. Last time I played fantasy baseball, it was just let's not. I don't.
You got screwed with injuries.
That's why I don't want to talk about it.
I understand. So
that was
Jacob.
The first time
do you want to join us?
Yes.
You know what? Shoot me an invite. Screw it. I'll give it a go.
I can do that.
Can we? You know, I know this is a long shot, but what if we just put like $5 down? Have something to play for. And not too big, not too small. Just like $5. Winner, first, second, third.
I'll work on that. I can definitely do that.
We're workshop that, Aaron. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So, be looking out for that information. I
like playing for things, you know. There has to be an incentive to it. I'm competitive like that. If there's something to win, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna try my best to win it.
That's fair enough. I'm gonna put.
That's why I don't really care about fantasy football.
That's fair.
I can't.
I'll put information up on socials. We're gonna have 10 to 12 teams. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. Final thoughts as we head out again, because I got to wrap it up because apparently my computer hates me.
Apparently so.
I don't have really any more final thoughts other than
next time bring your charger.
Well, it was full when I came downstairs. It doesn't go that fast usually. So oh well. Yeah, I know. I'm a party pooper, which I've been told before. So I do know we're going to have our annual preseason kickoff going into the regular season. So it'd be the regular season kickoff. We'll probably do that, Ethan, sometime this Sunday before the season. Sound right?
Cool with me.
Okay, Jacob, we would love to have you back for that.
Shoot me a message. I'll be here.
Spring training, and that's kind of what we've got going on there. In terms of spring training, everybody will be in camp by the time Monday rolls around. So let's roll, baby. That's what I have to say.
Baseball's back.
Yep. Ethan, where can they find you?
You find me on Facebook, Instagram. Just type in my name. You should find me. If it doesn't pop up, you probably typed it in wrong, but my name's only 10 letters. I don't know how you spell it wrong.
Jacob. Jacob, I see you got your Blue Sky handle there. Where else can they find you?
Listen, you can find me on Twitter primarily. It's Twitter or Blue Sky. Jacob Milham. It's JACOB MILHAM. Nothing too crazy. If you really want to follow along, go check out the Royals Rundown podcast wherever you're listening to this one. I'd appreciate a listen at least.
Absolutely, and it's a great podcast, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I listen to it every once in a while.
I have one more thing. I know it says final thoughts on the bottom, so this is one of my final thoughts. Actually, it's more like a prediction, but I'm going Paul Skeens. I know this is early, very early. Paul Skeens Cy Young right now.
I like it. I love it.
Keep that in the back of your mind.
That's not leaving.
Season kickoff.
I just had to say it right now.
Fair enough.
Get it on record, so when he does win the Cy Young, after the season's over, we can go back and y'all can say, "Wow, he's from the future."
There you go.
And then you can send that into the Rockies front office during your job interview, right, to help run the Rockies. Eh?
Say, "Hey, look, this is what I did. This is what I could do now for you."
There you go. As for First Pitch Strike, you can find First Pitch Strike on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just search First Pitch Strike. And on any podcast platform that you listen to, wherever you're listening to it right now, keep listening to it there. We do thank you for that support. And then also you can find me, just search Aaron Casey. You can find me on X. I've got my handle right there. Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Blue Sky. I don't use Blue Sky. I just set up an account and, hey, what's this about? But yeah, you can find me anywhere of those socials. Shoot all of us a line. We'll gladly accept your follow and support. So, Jacob, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time. And other than that, I'm done. So peace out.
Good night.